Welcome to My Best Ex, where we talk about friendship, relationships, and the what do we do now moments in life. This is a podcast by two exes who are besties, because who better to help you walk through the great midlife shifts than someone who dumped you in the past? I'm Gloria.
Right. And I'm Zina, and welcome. I don't think I've been this excited since the Liberty won the championship. I tell you guys, this is a big deal today. So I don't know if you remember, but last episode I talked about a tiny miracle that happened to me where I was at the dog groomers and standing outside talking to the owner, and I thought I saw two people pass, but I was like, it couldn't be. There's no way. I mean, this is just crazy. And I passed down the street and I started tiptoe running after them because if they heard hard running and turned around and saw a crazy black lesbian waving her arms around, that might have scared them. I stopped out of breath, posed a little bit, and said what I had to say, which was, of course, starting with an apology. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm sure you hear this all the time. And there they were. It was Bridget and Kyle from Queer Ultimatum. Oh my God, it was unbelievable. And just to let you guys know, when they did turn around and see me and Simon out of breath and looking like a crazy person anyway, they were so kind and took a picture with Simon and I, and we chatted, and it was really, really lovely. I did say something really dorky, though. At one point, I said something like, Ridgewood rules. I don't know if you guys remember that. It came out of...
I don't remember that.
It came out of nowhere, and it was humiliating. I don't know why it came out. I apologize. I can have this opportunity to apologize to you for that. But we are just so excited. They agreed to be on our podcast, and so many people who are listening and exciting to hear more about you guys today. So, Glo, you want to kind of start it?
Thank you all so much for coming and being on My Best Ex. For the audience, if you don't know, we don't know what to tell you, but Kyle and Bridget were a part of Queer Ultimatum Season 2, and they are the couple that Zina and her fiance, soon-to-be wife, feel like they are the most like. So this is such a Zina thing to run into them, and it's such a pleasure and a joy to have them on. So,
and it's not just the curls. It's not just the curls. I mean, it is the curls, but we'll talk about
that's
the
part
curls
of it.
later.
That's half of it.
The curls are a whole nother thing. We have a whole separate section for that. But yes, I resonate with Bridget, and my fiance partner resonate with Kyle. Like when we say, "Oh, which couple are we and why?" So it's really cool to have you guys on. Go ahead, Glo.
I didn't know that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dope.
As you know, this podcast is My Best Ex. Are either of you friends with any of your exes?
Yes, I'm friends with, I think, a few of them. I only have 2 or 3 big exes. My first ex, my first lesbian relationship turned into such a good friendship. I was at her wedding. She just had a baby. That is, I feel very classic. And then, of course, I have exes I don't talk to. I have both,
Yeah. And I've only been in one other serious relationship, and I wouldn't say that we're friends. We're fine, but I have other people that I've had smaller relationships with that I am still friends with now too.
Yes.
So I think it's just part of being gay.
Yep. That's one of the benefits of queerdom.
Exactly.
So talk to us a little bit about your experience on the show. What were the highlights and the lowlights?
I mean, first of all, thank you so much for having us on.
Yeah, thank you.
And I'm so glad that we ran into you.
No, I literally ran into
that this
you.
all happened. I know.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you felt embarrassed because we felt embarrassed because I realized afterwards that you were talking about having a podcast, and I was like, "Oh, well, we'll go on if you want us to," but you didn't ask.
Yeah,
I was like, "Why did I say that?"
But she was gonna.
I'm glad that you
She was
also
going
felt
to ask. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just
Well,
perfect.
thank you. But yeah, I would say highlights. It's great, getting to hear other queer people talk so much about marriage and what a relationship looks like to them. Because as much as you talk about your relationships with your friends, I feel like marriage isn't really a huge topic of conversation, at least not in your 20s. And so that was cool. That was probably the highlight for me. And also just getting to explore a new city and do fun activities. We did glass blowing. We got our auras read. We got to take a long boat ride.
Yes.
We got to do all kinds of stuff. They don't air a lot of it or most of it, but I did get to do fun things.
Yeah.
And then the low light, I guess, would be just that it's a really high pressure environment, and it's not fun when you're going through it. Obviously, it's
What makes it feel high pressure?
It's
all of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think just the pressure to, you do forget the cameras, but at the same time, you do feel pressure to be having conversations of substance that are very emotional, that are touching on hard things to talk about. And so that's always in your mind. Like, we are being filmed. I feel like I need to be performing in some way. Not like I'm putting on an act, but it's also like you're filming for like hours and sometimes you just want to like sit and not talk. Like I felt like you can't do that. And it's a weird situation. So it felt like
the producers will literally say, come on guys, like we only have so much time. You need to get to like, And I would say also there's a lot of pressure to act like this is a relationship that you're in, even though it's a stranger that you met, a few days ago.
It's
so
just really
that part is
bizarre.
Weird too. Yeah.
Are the cameras always there? Like, how does it? Is there like a person just in your room with a camera? Like,
there's not always a person attached to the camera. There's Nest cams in all the rooms, not in the bedrooms this season, but in the first season they were in the bedrooms. But for us, just in like the living areas. And then when they are filming you in the apartment, sometimes they don't give you an activity to do. So sometimes it is just like, do whatever you would normally do. But it's like, okay, well, I can't exactly do what I would normally do because you guys are kind of,
You're right.
Mm-hmm. Watching it back, do you feel like you were able to show who you really were through it? Do you feel like the representation of you is fair and accurate to who you actually are as people?
I think watching it back, I didn't feel that way. I thought that, like, what I saw was like, I recognize those parts of myself, but I think everyone probably has parts of their personality that they don't love. And I feel like for me, watching it back, I was like, those are the parts that I don't love about myself and that I'm aware of. But I think especially in that environment, those parts that you don't like, you want to change can come out more because you feel it's just like, it's a very strange place to be. And so I think watching back, I was like, yeah, the parts where I'm like such a people pleaser, very passive, very sort of like unsure of myself really came out in certain scenes that you see on the show. And so I think everyone would agree, you don't see the whole person. You don't see your full self. You see aspects of yourself. And I think for some people it was better aspects, for some people it was worse. So like I recognize myself, but I'm also like, they didn't show all of me, obviously.
Yeah.
I think like I agree with that. Like obviously what you see of me that's one side of me, but obviously they're just going to show the more like serious confrontational moments, whereas like as a whole person that is just one facet and not even the biggest one. So it's like, they hardly showed any of my trial marriage, and then they didn't show basically any of our...
Very little.
They don't show much of the original couples, as they like to call them, of their relationships. They tend to focus on the drama.
Right.
Was it weird seeing what they chose to edit? Like, after seeing it, were you like, wait a minute, they didn't get that great funny joke I told where everyone in the room laughed, or that really introspective spiritual moment?
I think I fully expected them to cut out any and all humor because I didn't see any humor first season.
Right.
So I wasn't like surprised at all by that, and I wasn't like putting on a show at any point in time. I was just being me, but I think like they just only want to show, obviously the like very dramatic stuff, and that's not going to be like the casual silly conversation you're having. And I think I had fears around like, I feel like these shows really are good at editing away your personality. And so I think like I was kind of like anxious about that, just in like, I already didn't necessarily want, like I was already uncomfortable going on such a public platform and doing this in the first place, that like having it not accurately represent me was obviously scary. And I think that, but I agree with what Kyle was saying, that like some people obviously get better edits than others, and some people I think they highlighted more positive parts of their personalities.
I was very surprised that they didn't, how little they showed of us, like when we were back together.
Because they must have spent so much money.
Yeah, I don't know. Right, they spend so much money on all these dates and they don't show them. But I think everyone probably feels that way about their original couples.
Something I wondered too about just this being on these kind of shows, is it something that like you guys submitted for? And was it a phone call you got when you were, at Starbucks getting your soy cappuccino and someone called you and said, you've been selected? Like, can you talk a little bit about that part?
Yeah, it was interesting. I remember it was like a point in our relationship where my lease was up, Bridget's lease was up. We were probably about 2 years in. Yeah. And we weren't moving in together because Bridget didn't want to. And I was sitting in my car, like waiting for someone to pick something up from Facebook Marketplace. And I was on Instagram and it like popped up like as a apply to the ultimatum. And I really like filling out forms and I was like bored. And so I like the questionnaire. So I just filled it out. I didn't think anything of it.
Yeah, she was annoyed.
Answering questions. Yeah, I was like, it's kind of makes sense because I am annoyed that like we aren't taking the next step of moving in together and like where is this going? But months went by before anything. And someone that we're not friends with, what we know on Instagram was casting and she posted on her Instagram and I sent it to Bridget and I was like, wait, remember I applied to this? And then from there we like messaged her and we're like, we actually applied and then it just took off from there. Yeah.
And then once it was passed on to the other people, we were kind of like, oh, I'm not going to think. There were so many rounds that I was kind of like never taking it that seriously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then they don't tell you until like a week, 2 weeks, before you go. For some people, they told them like under a week before for filming. Yeah. So they tell you really late notice with these things. So I never had a chance to fully like be like, this is happening. Really.
Wow. That's so fascinating. Oh my gosh.
What do you think is something about you that you don't think people understand about you or were confused about you by the way that you were portrayed? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For me, I think I try not to read the comments too much, so I don't know exactly. I think I'm hardly really in it, so I don't know how much people really could gather in the first place. But I think that, like, in the dating week, me being flirty or whatever, like, I saw some comments that were like, Bridget definitely would have done stuff if she was with so-and-so. And I'm like, I wouldn't have, though. It's just like, you have to be flirty in that dating week because that is what you're supposed to be doing.
That's the gig,
and they're like giving you sheets of questions with like certain topics on it. And so it's just like you're playing things up, not in a way that's fake for most people, but like just in like a, you know, whatever way, like you have to be that way. And so I think like that part and maybe just like not getting to see our relationship. I wish people could have seen all of the initial couples before they break up.
It would make more sense. I think for me, I think I came across much more strange and awkward than I actually am in real life. I am a little weird, but especially I remember watching with my like trial marriage with Pilar, the stuff that, I don't know, I was like, this is strange. And I do have parts of myself that are that way, but I can also be normal and like have a conversation. I think in those moments I was probably just getting used to it. It was like the first few days is the majority of what they showed of my trial marriage with Pilar. And I think I look really uncomfortable the whole time and you just see those parts while that was there. So I was also like ended up being very comfortable with her and we had like a lot of progression in our like what turned into like a friendship that you didn't get to see. It was just like me being like, what's going on, deer in headlights, which I don't think that's all of me, but that is like a lot of what you see.
Can I just say, Kyle, that you two honestly seemed like the most normal of all the couples because I related to you because if I was on that show, I'd be nervous as fuck. So you actually didn't seem weird. You seemed like how I would be on the show. I think that's why my partner and I gravitated to the two of you because you were our way in. You were our POV because you were the most kind of like grounded. And so like we look forward to when you were on because we were kind of like seeing the show through like your perspective.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does. Yeah. I understand that. I like to hear that.
Yeah. And you just seem cool. Like you say, to me, you seem like I was going to ask you if you were ever in a band because you seem like a bassist. You know what I mean? Like, just like cool.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Are you in a band?
I'm not in a band, but I play the drums a little bit.
Drums, not bass.
I'm not in a band.
Okay.
Yeah.
Darn it.
You know what? My instinct was drum too, Zina. I was thinking, when you said bass, I was like, probably drum.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had drum. Okay.
Further back, but just like holding it down. Like
Exactly.
Yeah. I think we thought everybody was going to be on our same page going in. Like, hey, this is kind of weird. And like, we all came here with someone we really love and care about and want to like, hopefully leave with that person and like learn as much as we can in these 3 weeks talking to somebody else. And then you realize that like everyone has their own idea of what this is and what they want out of it and like how they're gonna handle it and what they expect from their trial partner. So I think like me and my like within my trial marriage, I think Ashley being a little bit more passive, it was like I kind of was able to lead like what that was going to be. I mean, it was mutual, but it was like I felt like, you know, together we just kind of got very close and we got to a point where we could be super honest with each other, and that was really cool. But I never felt any pressure from her to act a certain way, and I felt really lucky, and that was part of why I picked her, because I just felt like she was very genuine and also was open to like whatever this experience becomes and didn't have any kind of weird expectation within a trial marriage.
Yes.
Because I think that was a weird thing to see. It's like obviously like nobody knows what this is and it's an unhinged premise to begin with. So like, yeah, it's hard to know what to expect out of it.
Well, I was going to ask you, because I loved Ashley. We'll go into that in a second. I have a whole backstory I made up for her. I don't know if you heard on the podcast, but
yeah, and
was were your trial partners, did they end up being your closest friends from the experience, or were there other people that you really bonded with that you still keep in touch with too?
Yeah, we like most of us are in a group chat, and after the reunion, we all really wanted to protect each other and not contribute to any bullying or like any animosity. And we understood that like it's going to be hard, and the way people are edited, some people are going to be villains and others aren't. So let's just please try and not feed into any of that. And I think like for the most part, like, you know, it started out that way and it's gotten maybe a little more divided, and maybe there's a little bit of bad blood between some people. We don't have any bad blood with anybody.
No.
I'm really close still with Ashley, and we talk with Zina and Megan a lot.
Okay.
But we don't have, well, we would talk to any of them. They're all like...
Yeah, we're friendly enough, especially after filming the reunion. I feel like we've been more in touch with more people, but I feel like Dana and Megan, like, we love Marie. I know she's been having a hard time. But,
yeah.
I think
Ooh, child, that reunion, Glow. I know you want to say something about that.
God.
Oh.
Yeah, no, just it was hard. It was hard to watch somebody like crash out at the reunion. I really was just like, they should just let her go. She doesn't not want to be there, and it does not feel.
Yeah, she did not want to be.
Yeah, she was. I was like, she is fulfilling her contract, but that is what's going on here. Like that, they should let her go because this doesn't feel good for her, and she's pulling everybody's card. And I was like, oh, okay, somebody get her, somebody get her.
She was not having a good time.
No. So Z, you had another question.
Well, I just want to know if Ashley really was brought up on a farm.
You're not super far. She wasn't brought up on a farm, but she's from Indiana, and she like. Yeah, but she has sisters, not brothers. Because I did listen to that episode.
It was so close.
But I would say the one difference, like, she was very open with her feelings one-on-one, and they hardly showed any of our trial marriage. But I think what you don't see, and what she told me off camera, is, like, she was very careful to not ever want to badmouth Marita or, like, smear her or say anything. And even now you see that with, like, you know, it just like I feel like anyone who really looks at both parties and sees that one person is speaking a lot and saying a lot of bad things and the other isn't saying anything, like I would think that that's pretty telling. But I mean, she's just like not one to try and start any drama like that.
Yeah.
But it's unfortunate, like the way things unfolded. And I think you see like a little bit at the reunion. But I think like the flower stuff, it was frustrating for me because I know Ashley didn't want to like say anything bad. But it's just like, obviously, that's not the real issue. Obviously, like there's some resentment there. And it doesn't even really matter what the resentment is. It's just the fact that it's there. And that's what's stopping Ashley from being able to do these grand gestures and be that way for Marita. And I think it was important to like talk about that. And Ashley and I did talk about that a lot, and I called her out for that and was like, yeah, like I understand the frustration, but I see why you're not doing it. And I think until you resolve those things and work through those things, that's just going to keep being the issue.
You know what I like about trial wives? They're like therapists.
Yeah.
Like a good trial wife is like a good listener and able to reflect things back to you like a good therapist. Yeah.
Definitely. And Ashley did that for me too, a lot. So it was
very cool.
Yeah.
And who was the other relationship that kind of had the friendship? Can you remind me of their names?
Marita and Brittany.
Marita and Brittany. Because they had a similar kind of situation, right? Where they just became close friends.
They didn't even have any dates together. So they didn't really even know each other.
Yeah, they just had their first 10-minute date and then they're like, we're living together.
Yeah.
It turned out though.
But then they became really close.
Yeah, they're really good friends.
I don't know if you've heard our podcast, but I thought Brittany was a total catch. Me and Glow were like, what is going on?
I mean, she's so beautiful.
I remember the first night, when we all met each other, when Bridget and I went back together, they had asked you, who are you most drawn to? And I was like, I feel like AJ and Brittany are we like their vibe.
Yeah, I felt like they were kind of similar in some ways and really liked both of them. And I still do like both of them. I think Brittany's really shy. She's the first to say that. And I think this is not an easy environment when you're speed dating and doing all of that. So I think that probably was hard. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think even with AJ and the criticism she's gotten, I think it's another case of she's an MC and we all have our coping mechanisms and things we rely on when we're in that type of environment, especially with our insecurities being front and center. And so, yeah, I think everybody just during the dating week, you're trying your best, but it's not like you have all this time to really get to know a person. So I think that can be harder depending on what your personality is.
Now, when y'all are walking around at these parties with these goblets, all these reality shows have these goblets.
What do you have against goblets?
I'm just saying, it's a lot of goblets. Are y'all drinking that much?
So
are you constantly drinking?
No.
You have to put anything.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I'd be drinking coffee out of that, water.
Anything. Yeah.
It's
they have the little mini ones too. Yeah, you can't have anything, even if it's in another cup.
Yeah, even if I had this, they'd be like, oh, you need to put it in a goblet, even though this is opaque as
hell. Yeah. I don't understand.
What is up with the goblets?
It's a branding thing. It's weird.
Gotta have a goblet.
So you also are just I assume that once you're on these shows, right, these kind of reality dating shows, that your life changes forever. Is that accurate, or is it kind of things dwindle down pretty fast and you're kind of back to your normal routine pretty quickly?
Yeah. It's hard to know because I think it's still pretty recent that it came out.
Yeah.
But it does feel dwindled down.
Yeah, I think I never really felt, maybe because we've been traveling pretty much since the show came out. We haven't really been in our normal life.
Wow. Where is your normal life?
Yeah. In LA.
I knew it with your hair. Yeah. I knew it. As soon as I saw you, I said, she either lives in Silver Lake or she goes around Silver Lake.
We live in Silver Lake.
You got it.
I knew it. I know my people. I was like, yeah, that haircut gotta be.
Silver Lake gays, yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
I know, that's why we feel like we're a dime a dozen, but then we go on a show like this and it's we're the outliers.
Yeah, but I feel like the Queer Ultimatum, I think it is popular, but it also feels like we're kind of the outcasts. I feel like they just...
Yeah, we went to that Netflix party and we're
you guys aren't...
Bastards.
I feel like they don't do a good job of promoting it or anything because for whatever reason. So it hasn't been that wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely some homophobia in that as well, I think. Vial Files, they don't interview anyone from the Queer Ultimatum, but they do Straight Ultimatum.
Oh, wow.
All the Love is Blinds. Yeah. And I tried to confront him at the Netflix party.
Good for you.
That seems.
He said, "Well, I haven't watched the show," and I went, "What kind of excuse is that?" Yeah, but yeah, I would say I don't think either one of us is really I don't think the public the popularity is something that really affects either one of us. So I feel like maybe we haven't noticed it as much. But I think for me, it just made me feel like it's easier almost now for me to put content out there because I've already done the most embarrassing thing I could possibly do. And so anything else is just kind of well, whatever. Might as well.
Do you guys get stopped a lot? Have crazy people like me come up to you and fast, slow run?
Everyone's been really nice. When we were in New York, we got
mostly other gay people. And then some straight couples and you're always interesting.
Say I didn't have a fiance, but say we were we weren't engaged yet. And we were in a situation where one of us felt like moving forward and the other one didn't. If you were our besties, would you say you guys should go on Queer Ultimatum?
No.
Wouldn't recommend it. I don't think it's great for a relationship.
I don't think either one of us is yes, I'm so excited to do this. I think we were both just kind of in a place where we were I mean, I guess, like, how many people get to do this? Let's
Right.
do it.
Let's
but
see.
was not.
It's hard. Yeah, it's
we didn't
hard.
think it through,
No.
really.
But you're in your 20s. You should do things like
Right,
that.
yeah.
You
New
should not think things
experiences.
through and do things. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Have a little crazy choices.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
How long did y'all film?
About 2 months. Yeah,
Yeah.
very fast.
Wow. So you're supposed to ask a stranger potentially to marry you after you've known them for 2 months?
Yeah,
And you're only with the stranger for,
for
3
3
weeks.
weeks. That's like
why
the
no one
trial
ever
marriage.
really leaves.
Well, that's also a blessing too, though, because it could be 3 weeks of like being with somebody and it being a nightmare,
Right.
and then also having to live with them. Oh,
Yeah, it's scary.
So wedding, marriage, I can't remember. What's the situation with you guys now? Where are we at?
I think now it almost feels like our engagement is sort of like starting now because now we can be like actually public. So I think both of us want to enjoy being engaged for a year or two.
We have
then,
an idea of like what we want, and it won't take much planning anyway.
Right.
'Cause
Yeah,
it's
we
gonna
don't
be
want a big
small,
wedding. So
yeah. I just want to do it like in Joshua Tree and get
Oh,
a place
Joshua
for
Tree?
the weekend. Yeah, I love Joshua Tree. I love the desert.
and all the
So-
shooting stars. Joshua,
I know, yeah, it's
isn't
just
that
so
magical?
pretty.
Uh-huh.
And I just want like a big
Gorgeous.
Airbnb or something and have everyone come stay there for the weekend and just do
yeah,
everything.
just rent a house.
Oh.
Yeah.
My God, that sounds amazing. Yeah, my fiance and I are getting married.
So nice.
We're keeping it small. The most stressful part about it is trying to find a damn suit I like. I went to Bindle and Keep.
Oh my God, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I went to Bindle and Keep in the suit shop, and it's not easy to find a suit that.
No.
They're custom lesbian suits. I will have to send you that info. They're not calling them lesbian suits. Let's not say that. Okay, there are custom suits that are made by someone who I think appears to be a lesbian, and the people that are wearing them, I think, are also.
Yeah, that's helpful.
lesbian.
We need more of that.
Yeah.
Tailoring can do wonders. That's
Exactly.
like
And
honestly
that's-
where you should put your money.
Yeah.
No, that's right. And we got to see on the show, Kyle, your family kind of really embracing
Mhm.
Bridget. And I was just curious how your family, Bridget, the relationship.
Yeah.
with-
My mom and brother were also on the show. They came out twice, but they didn't show like anybody's family visits, which
Yeah, they didn't show a lot.
I know
of
it's so disappointing. And like Brittany's mom is a lesbian and she came and visited. Yeah, and they didn't show it, which I thought that was crazy. I was like, I would have
Yeah.
loved to see that. So yeah, my mom, both my parents adore Kyle, and yeah, they love our relationship and they are big fans and they're very supportive as well. And yeah, we're both really lucky to have families that are so supportive. Yeah.
What about yourself on it?
I think I learned that I really do struggle with conflict and that I can be such a people pleaser. And I think I learned a lot about that in myself and like how people pleasing can really be almost like a form of manipulation and it doesn't breed connection or closeness with others, and like how I need to stand up for myself more, how I need to like be in touch with how I'm feeling, and that to just communicate better even if it's difficult.
Kyle, I
Yeah.
feel my core and my bones.
I agree.
That has been a journey that I've been on as well. Yep, I get it.
Yeah. I think I learned like from seeing other relationships and talking to Ashley a lot, like places where we had room for growth as far as like doing things as a team and not being so hyper independent individually. And then on a personal note, I think I definitely learned how detrimental it can be to put somebody on a pedestal. Like it's not fair. And it almost also is like manipulative in a way because I think like, you know, then they can only disappoint you and like you should be prioritizing yourself. Yeah, it sounds selfless and like such a good thing to put somebody else first all the time, but it's really not. And I think I learned that was a big lesson that I learned, and like just, you know, working on emotional regulation too. Like I think we all worked on that, even though the show really rewards not regulating your emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to have your goblet. That's your emotional regulator.
Yeah.
The things that you're saying are all very important life, skills and life lessons that you learn. So I think it feels to me, because you're talking about in your 20s, some of these things I'm just like now getting. So it's like, so it's good to hear that, these are things that you have good takeaways from there.
Yeah, I think we definitely learned things, whether it was what we thought we were going to learn going in there, who knows, but like I think it was valuable.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Glow, do you realize we were their age when we dated and we did not have our shit together like them?
No.
At all. Y'all are way advanced. If I was in my 20s and where y'all are going to be, oh my God, by the time y'all in your 40s, I don't know, you're going to have some kind of lesbian.
Emotional regulation. Like, what?
I hope
Good
so.
Lord.
I just hope like I think like our generation also can get very like therapy talk like too far on that
Right,
side of
yeah.
things. Like I think
It's both.
just
Yeah.
like it's okay to be real and like acknowledge it when you've not regulated your emotions or blown up a bit, and that's okay. Yeah.
I love that. Can I ask about the curls now, Glow?
Yes, Zina, you can ask her about her curls.
Okay, Bridget, your curls are popping. So I want to know if, like Beyonce, you wake up like this, or
No,
if
it's
you
so
have a
much worse.
mousse, or because I need it, girl.
Yeah.
I need it. What's up with the curls?
I think like I've cycled through so many products and so many different ways of wearing my hair, and also the texture changes every 5 minutes, and then I have to start over and figure it out again. So I think, and also like depending on where I am, like in Miami, I literally like also we're filming early a lot of the time, so sometimes my hair was still wet, and then other times I just didn't want to shake out my gel cast because I knew how humid it was outside, and I was like, I'd rather just have like flat hair than have like frizzy. But yeah, I definitely use a lot of products. I did a tutorial on, I think I put it on Instagram also.
Ooh.
That shows the exact products, but
Yes.
Briogeo, curl cream, and then Adwoa.
Well,
I use the one for color processed hair. It's like the blue tansy one, even though my hair is not color processed, but I think it just like works better because it's for super damaged, brittle hair. And then I lately have been like relaxing a little bit with a hair straightener. I'll put it on the very lowest heat setting, and then after it's already dry, I'll kind of just like run it over everything. And by the end of the day, it'll be back to normal.
okay. And Kyle, love the cut.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And Bridget bleaches my hair.
Yeah,
She's
I
very,
do Kyle's color.
What?
She's very talented.
I love it. I love a kitchen beautician.
Yeah,
I
it's
am
truly
too.
that.
Oh my gosh. Glow, you want to ask about the nickname, how they feel about it?
So Zina was saying that she and her wife referred to you guys as Hall & Oates. And then someone else told me that on TikTok, there was a whole thing where everyone was
there's like
yeah, they're
multiple
Hall & Oates.
compilation videos.
There's a whole compilation video, Zina, that you and Vic missed of them in Hall & Oates.
God, really?
Yeah.
Yes.
So you guys aren't
So
offended, I hope. I mean, that's like, to me, it's an utmost compliment. That's my
Yeah, I
band.
love
That's
it.
the shit.
Yeah, it's funny because my friends, even before we went on the show, have sent me some of the photos of Hall & Oates that I've seen that are like you and Kyle. Yeah.
Oh, really?
So it's just funny. Yeah.
Good.
No, yeah, we like it.
You don't mind it? Okay. Okay.
No.
That's good. I feel better. I feel better. I
Yeah.
meant it as a compliment. So it's just
No,
we
don't feel
took
bad.
it as
Yeah,
one.
we like
Yeah.
that. I honestly, all of the comparisons, even the mean ones,
Are
they're kind of funny. Yeah.
They're kind of funny. Yeah.
like talking about the generational differences between, like, say lesbians in their 40s and in their 20s. Like, do you guys still like sports? Do you do sports?
Sports.
We were on a queer kickball league.
Yeah, it's definitely still a big thing.
Okay.
We were too. I played.
Yeah.
I wasn't good at it, but I was there. And you've seen. Remember you?
there.
I broke my finger. Yeah.
You did.
God.
Yeah, trying to do the sports.
The important
There
finger
were
too.
too
The
many-
important finger. It was not good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh no.
Yeah, there were more rules than I realized kickball had.
Yeah,
so.
we were on a competitive team.
Yeah,
it
I
was,
quit.
It was too much.
The best one are the teams that aren't competitive. My team was called My Lover Cindy, and I think
That's
I played for like 3 seasons on it. But they all knew that I was terrible, and no one expected me to be good, and it was fun.
That's what makes it
Yeah.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if it had been less serious,
Ours
we would have done it for
was
longer.
Too intense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lesbians
It's
tend
like
to get
people
very
yelling
intense.
on the field.
Lesbians intense about sports. What are you talking
yeah.
about?
So if
Competitive.
we play this little game on our podcast that we both love, and so we'd like to play it with you guys right now. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So it's called Marry, Hook Up With, or Become. Okay? And we're going to give you 3 famous people, and you're going to tell us who you think. Like, Bridget, you're going to tell us who you think what Kyle's order would be, and Kyle, you're going to tell us what you think Bridget's order would be. Glow, you
Okay.
have somebody?
I do.
Okay, here we go.
Okay. Paige Bruckner. That's her last name, right? Zina, the basketball lady?
I don't know sports.
Me neither. Me neither.
Even
So,
lesbian sports. I should know. I'm
I know a
horrible.
few.
no,
I actually
that's
think
okay. Okay, so then we'll go to
I like Brittany Griner.
we'll cancel the page.
Yeah.
I only learned this because of her. I didn't know who she was. Okay,
that's
Renee
good.
Rapp,
Okay.
Renee Rapp, Chapel Roan,
Okay.
Brandy Carlisle.
Okay. I know all of those.
Yes.
Okay, so for Kyle, who do you think? What do you think the order is for that? Is
Okay. Oh, that's hard. Okay, maybe become Chapel.
Okay.
This would be fun. I don't know. You get to dress up a lot.
sweet.
And maybe marry Brandy and hook up with Renee, because I don't think you would want to spend all your time with Renee.
No, probably not. I feel like
And
that's
Renee would be
pretty
and Brandy
accurate.
would be chill.
Yay. Okay.
I think that's I like your logic too. I agree with that. Yeah. Okay,
Because Renee's fun, but
but you don't.
a
Yeah,
lot.
you don't
In a good
for
way, but
not to. Yeah,
for Kyle, I don't know.
Okay. Mine is historical. I always do a historical one. So you just have to
Okay.
bear with me.
Fun.
Like lesbians from history.
Okay,
Here we go. Amelia Earhart.
You know she's gonna say Sally Ride. You can't keep doing this. You can't say that
Harriet
this lady
Tubman.
is gay.
Okay.
Okay, these people aren't gay.
I'm like, are these all confirmed lesbian?
Yes.
No.
Okay, here we
No,
go.
she
Amelia-
just chooses people she likes. She chooses people that she likes and thinks that they're cool, and then she calls them lesbians.
They
They're not
probably
like
were
that.
lesbians.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Why are you trying to squelch my
So-
joy, Glow?
Okay, Harriet Tubman.
Amelia
Amelia.
Earhart, Harriet Tubman, or Sally Ride. Yes, I'm going to say Sally Ride, the first woman in space. That's my girl.
Sally Ride, Harriet Tubman, Amelia Earhart. Okay. I'm going to say B, Sally Ride for you. I think marry Harriet Tubman. And I would say hook up with Amelia Earhart because she seems a little too wild with all the flying.
Right.
But also people have said I look like her. Mostly old men have told me that. So maybe you would
the
want
short
to hook
hair.
up. Yeah. I think she'd be fun.
I think that's accurate.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's amazing. Yes. Okay, Glow. Yeah, you have one more, Glow?
I would have said she would have been Harriet because she's feisty.
I was thinking that too,
I
but
could-
then it's
That's
also like
true.
that's a tough
Yeah.
life. But I would be
Yeah,
like
but she would like
a
it,
hero,
you know?
which would be cool.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So the next one we're going to do, these are very random. Okay. You know, Keke Palmer, Kilani.
Keke Palmer's straight though, right?
Yeah, she is. Yeah. I'm doing
Not in this experiment.
none in our
Now,
games.
see, Glow, you talking about me.
No,
and
no,
at least
but
we
this
know
is not the
Keke
same.
Palmer straight. We
not the
don't
same
know
thing.
Amelia Earhart. Amelia Earhart disappeared. She's probably on a lesbian. She's on Lesbos somewhere.
She's on a lesbian cruise or somewhere. Do you know who Megan Rapinoe is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
We know
okay,
that
good. Okay, so Keke Palmer, Kalani, and Megan Rapinoe.
Oh, I'm answering. Okay. Right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think you'd want to be. Oh, this is so hard.
This one's hard.
Maybe
Mm-hmm.
Megan, because you're athletic. You run every day. This is getting hard. Maybe Keke Palmer seems like she would be entertaining all the time. So maybe marry her. And then Kaylani's, well, no, that's hard because Kaylani's also like an activist and speaks up and is so cool. So maybe you'd want to marry her and then have a fun time with Keke Palmer. I don't know.
That's not right. If I could choose, I'd rather be Keke Palmer because she's so funny and so
okay.
quick.
Oh.
I would just
That's
hook
true.
up. I mean, no, I think Megan Rapinoe is incredible. I'm not that into blondes, but I would hook up with her just to have that,
Yeah.
you know? And then I would probably marry Kehlani. It's hard. It's tough. I
Yeah.
don't know.
That's good. This is good. This is
So
good.
sad.
Interesting logic how this works.
Yeah, it's tough.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's really, yeah, I like that. Okay.
All right, last
last one. So these are funny women that
Okay.
Okay.
I think Glow's going to give me a hard time with this first one. I don't care. Here we go. Ready?
Okay.
Lucille Ball, Don't.
Famously lesbian.
Rosie O'Donnell and Aubrey Plaza.
Rosie O'Donnell commented on one of my TikToks.
Right.
Can you believe that? Isn't that crazy?
Okay. I think you probably want to be Aubrey Plaza. Maybe marry Rosie O'Donnell and hook up with Lucille Ball.
Is that true? Boy, I don't know about that.
What do we get?
You can't go wrong.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to be with Aubrey or be Aubrey.
Yeah, that one's tough.
That's a tough one, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe the way you said it.
Yeah.
You're
That's a
right.
hard-
Yay! That was a good last one. All right, well,
Yeah.
before we end, is there anything that you want our audience to know or anything you guys kind of want to promote or say you have coming up or anything like that?
Your shirts?
Yeah, if people want to buy shirts, they can go to tinytoothtoad.net and finally get me back in LA and things will move a lot quicker. So people
Nice.
can check that out.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm going to get back to making my things too. I took a little break, but
Just follow us.
I'll be selling some ceramics and
Yeah.
drawings and all that stuff. Yeah, eventually. I have an art page. It's linked to my main Instagram. So
Okay.
I'll be back on there.
Great.
This has been such a treat. I can't even tell you guys. Like,
Thank you so much
you
for
so
having
much.
us. You
It's
guys
been
have been so easy to talk to
Yeah,
and so
truly.
great.
so fun.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for tuning into My Best Ex, and we'll talk to you all next week. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.